Hi everybody. Some of y'all may know me as a family member, as a friend, as a Facebook friend. I stated today on my Facebook page that I was gonna break my silence of criminal domestic violence. This is something that I prayed about. I talked to two special people in my life and asked them, should I share my story? Because someone asked me to share my story. And I was debating, should I share my story? But I was going to share my story on October 25th of 2020, which is Sunday coming. I was going to share my story anyway. But I decided to share my story early because I joined a social club and we is doing a criminal domestic violence tomorrow. And my president asked, was anybody ever abused? And you know, I came along and I told her my story. And I told her I was going to share my story, which I'm about to share my story. I may make some of y'all mad, but it's okay. I love each and every one of y'all. Even if you don't speak to me again, guess what? I love y'all. I love y'all. At this moment in my life, as I sit here, October 21st, 2020, I am a happy woman. I am blessed. I am blessed to be sitting in front of this camera telling y'all about my story. Very blessed. But the reason why I'm not going to be silent anymore, because I can save somebody out there. I can save a woman or a man. Women and men get abused. It's not only women that get abused. Men get abused too. So I'm here to tell y'all, whatever relationship y'all in, if a man is calling you out your name, if a woman calling you out your name, if they hitting on you, your partner hitting on you, telling you, get out my house, or be this, be that, and the next minute he come and tell you he's sorry, don't accept that. You are the queen. You are the king. You're supposed to be treated like a queen. You're supposed to be treated like a king. So don't let nobody tell you different. Don't let nobody tell you different. Don't never let nobody tell you ugly, because you are beautiful. You are beautiful inside and out. And I want to be maybe the first person to tell you that you are beautiful inside and out. And don't let no man or no woman talk down on you. Never. I did that for 8 years. I was at my lowest. But thank God, I got a praying sister, a praying mother. And they prayed me out the situation. They never gave up on me. Never gave up on me. My mama always was on my side. When I called her, she was there. When I called my sister, she maybe live in Florida. But guess what? She was a phone call away. She would get on that phone with me and she would pray. She would pray with me. And she would let me know, Saquana, it's going to be all right. There is a God. He sits high and he looks low. And it's going to be all right. And guess what? Saquana is all right. I'm telling you, I am all right. But I want to tell you this. I've been in an abusive relationship for 8 years. Everybody know this man. But I'm not going to call no names. Because you know who he are. And he know who he is. I may make some of y'all mad. I may make his family members mad. But it's okay. Because y'all knew. I may make his friends mad. But it's okay. Because y'all knew. My family was mad at me. My friends was mad at me. The one that I could trust and talk to about my situation. That knew what I was going through at that particular time. That would listen to Saquana as she cried. But I thank God that he brought me out of a situation and turned around to something good and something blissful. But I got into this abusive relationship back in May 2011. I thought this was a perfect man for me because I was vulnerable at the moment. I had just got a relationship with my oldest son's father. So he knew what I was going through because he was there for me. He was my crying shoulder. At the time, I thought this man loved me. But you don't love somebody if you call them names and you hit on them and you abuse them. I can recall the first time that he done it, and he done it in front of his family. Outside his house. He was drunk. He was on drugs. He got into an altercation with someone. I can't remember who the person was. But we tried to calm him down. And it wasn't no calming him down because he flipped on us. He called me a B word. He pushed me against my car. Told me to get out of his way. All kind of stuff. And I recall one of his family members told me, Saquana, go home. He just upset right now. Give him a break. And I done that. But the next day, we was back together. I would go to his house. I would sneak to his house because I didn't want nobody to know that I was messing with this man. I kept it a secret. But in July, I lost a baby. And I ended up getting pregnant again. By him. By this man. Nobody knew I was pregnant. I kept this pregnancy a secret for a while because I didn't want nobody to know I was pregnant by him. But guess what? They found out that I was dating him. And when they found out, his closest family, his closest friends, I mean friends, and they're still his friends right now today, stated to me, leave this man alone. This man is going to destroy you. He's going to ruin you. He got all these kids. He don't have nothing to offer you. They even say he's on child support, which I didn't know he was on child support for these kids. They say he stayed in jail. But guess what? I didn't care. I didn't want to hear what they had to say because I wanted to find out on my own. And guess what? I did. I found out on my own. Months passed. I was getting abused. I would go home. I would tell my mama. My mama would tell me, Quana, let that man go. Get rid of that man. That man no good for you. And she would end up telling my brothers. And my brother would come to my defense. But after a while, they saw that I wasn't going to leave this man. My brothers turned their back on me. I couldn't go to my brothers for nothing. If I needed $20, I couldn't ask them for $20. They would tell me no. Only person that had my back was my mother and my sister. When I called them, my mama was there. My sister was a phone call away, even though she stayed in another state. And she would get on the phone and she would pray with me. Quana, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. It's a God. He sits high and he look low. She said, Quana, it'll be all right. Make a long story short. April of 2012. I was 8 months pregnant. I will never forget this. This should have been a wake-up call, but it wasn't. I went to his son's birthday party. His son, one of his kids was having a birthday party. And he stated to me that he was there. And when I arrived, he was there, but he was in a room doing his usual, drinking and getting high. And someone stated to me, he's not here, he's not here. So I left back out the house and I was going to my car. And he came out the door and I asked him, I was like, why you lying? They saying you wasn't in there, where you was and this and that. So he wasn't saying where he was, and me and him got in an altercation out the door. So at the time I was staying with him, I went home and I went and got in the shower to wash, get ready for bed. And as I was in the shower, he came home and he was beating on the bathroom door, calling me names, telling me open the bathroom door. And, excuse me, I'm itching, excuse me for a minute. And I wouldn't open the bathroom door, so he got it open. And as he got it open, he pulled my hair. He pulled me out the shower. The water was still running. He pulled me out the shower. And I had long, single braids in my hair at the time because I was about to deliver my baby because I was 8 months pregnant and I wanted to get braids. And as he dragged me out the shower, he dragged me down the hallway. And I was naked. I was wet and I was naked. And his grandmother we was living with his grandmother at the time. And she got up and she said, why are you hitting that young lady? This young lady is pregnant. You're going to go to jail for hitting this young lady. And as I got loose, I ran and got my dress that I had on. That's the only thing I could grab at the time. And I ran out the door to get help. And I went to his aunt's house and she didn't answer. And I went to some people across the street and they didn't answer. So it clicked in my head that my niece stays up the block from him. So I was like, Lord, I pray. I said, God, show me the way how I'm going to get to my niece's house without him seeing me. Because at that moment, he was coming behind me, calling my name, saying he's going to kill me when he get to me. So I made it to my niece's house. And when I knocked on my niece's door, her and her boyfriend opened the back door. And I fell inside on the floor, knowing that I was pregnant with my son. And they called the ambulance, and the ambulance came, the police came, and they took me to the hospital. I was in labor. They stopped my labor twice that night because it was too early for me to have my son. So as time progressed, I got better. They stopped my labor, so they sent me home. And when I got home, I went and got my car from his house, and I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything because I was beaten badly till I couldn't even walk, and I was pregnant. 2 weeks later, it was May 1st, I went to my doctor, and I had done lost all the fluid off my baby. Lucky I went to the doctor because I could have lost my child. So they did emergency C-section on May 2nd, and I delivered my son. My son was in ICU for 7 days because I was beaten and I had done lost all the fluid off of him. But thank God that he made it. My son is 8 now. He's made it, and I thank God for that. And the abuse continued on all those years. And I sit there and I accept the abuse that he was doing to me because I had loved this man. He would go to jail. I would get him out. He would go to jail for child support, driving without a license, all kind of things. Because I love him. I even cashed out my 401k to get him out of jail. I even took my tax money to get him out of jail. I even put a title on my Impala to get him out of jail. I done that because I love him. And he still was abusing me. Nobody knew he was abusing me but my family and my close friend that I had called my friend. I recall when my baby was 6 months old, I had moved out of the house with him because the abuse had got so bad and he kicked me out and I didn't have nowhere to go. And I ended up moving in a trailer park. And I let him move in with me because I love him. And the abuse still continued. I will never forget that. And as the abuse continued, I remember my oldest son, he was six years old. And I was in the kitchen, mopping my kitchen floor, and he came home. He was drunk or whatever. I said, oh, God, here come trouble. That's why I was saved, because I knew it was trouble. It was going to be trouble. And the only thing I heard him in the bathroom talking to himself. And he came out the bathroom and I had my head down because I was mopping by my back door. And I heard something say, "Pow!" And I didn't realize that I was hit until a couple seconds later. I grabbed my face. I said, oh, God. I said, I've been hit. So I took off running down the hall to my son's room. And he followed me. And as he was following me, he was beating me. He was literally beating me. And my oldest son, he hid up under his bed. And my neighbor that stayed behind me, she heard me hollering. So she came to my front door. And by the time she came to my front door, he took out the front door running. And she was like, oh, I'm going to call the police because he got you swollen. By the time my face, my eye had done got big and swollen. I mean, I was swollen. I was swollen. So the police came, they took a report, they took a warrant out on for his arrest, but he was on the run for maybe about a year or something with that warrant, but we still was together. I was hiding this man out because I love him. And during that year, I still was being abused by him. As time progresses, like I said, I wasn't perfect. I can't say I was perfect in that relationship, but I never cheated. We split for about 2 weeks, and during that split, he was seeing somebody else. And I saw him at a convenience store, and he disrespected me at the convenience store. So I threw some high seafood punch on him at the moment. So he went to the police, and they signed a warrant on me for CDV. He told me, he said, that's payback because you got me, so I'm going to get you. And he done that. But during the time, I went to court for that, and the judge stated to me, she threw it out. She didn't put it on my record or anything. Because she stated to me, she said, I spoke to an officer. And this officer told me how you was being abused by this man. And he stated that I shouldn't have signed this warrant against you. And she apologized. She said, Miss Hauser, she said, I apologize for signing this warrant against you because if I know that this man was abusing you the way that he abused you, I would have never signed this warrant against you. And, you know, me and the judge talked, real nice judge, real nice lady. And she was like, you know what, Miss Hauser, I'm going to just send you to class. She was like, just go to class and just get counseling. So I done that. And during the course of the time when I done that, he was taking me to class. And he would drop me off to class and he would pick me up some days. And some days I would drive myself. And all this time, I love this man. I love this man. And the abuse kept going. So in 2016, we had an altercation and he left me. Let me tell you how bad this was. He left me. He went back to his ex-wife. And during the course of time, I knew he was back with his ex-wife. He was coming back and forth with me in and out my house. And I still was letting him come, even though I know he was his ex-wife. And they had supposed to get married in 2017. On March 2017, he left her and he came back to me. He said his heart was with me and he loved me. And I accepted that man. And I took him back even though he had supposed to get married July 2017. But he didn't because he was with me. But love is blind. And I can say that I was really blind because I had loved this man. And this man cheated on me several times with several different women. But I accepted him back because he would always come back to me telling me he loved me. He would come back when he used to beat me. He used to come back and he used to crying and tell me, Quan, I love you. I'm sorry. I won't do this again. And all of a sudden, he would do it again over and over and over. But only the strong survive, you know? And one day I joined a card circle because I wanted to get away on the weekends because that's when the abuse would really happen on the weekend because he would get paid on Fridays. And he would go to the liquor store and get his liquor. He would get his drugs. And if he didn't have the money, I would buy his liquor. And I would buy his drugs to make him happy. So I joined a card circle, but nobody knew around this card circle why Quanta would sit around the card circle 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. And I had to lost my money. I didn't have any money, no money to play cards, but I would sit around the card circle because I didn't want to come home. I didn't want to be abused because that's what he was doing to me, mostly on the weekend. And this one particular night, I text him and I said, I'm on my way home. And he texted me back and he told me, don't you come home. If you come home, I'm going to beat your ass. So I went to my mama's house and I told my mama, I said, Mama, I'm going to leave my boys here. And I'm going to go home. But he said he going to beat my ass when I get home. And my mama said, well, you can go home, but you ain't taking them boys. thinking that when I get home, things would be all right. But it wasn't. He wait good till I went to sleep. And when I fell asleep, he had put chairs behind the door, the front and back doors. He rearranged my whole house where it wasn't no escape for me. And I was scared to go out the window because I felt like I was going to die once I broke out the window, fell out the window. That night, he beat me. And I begged him to stop beating me. And when he finally stopped beating me, I laid down in my bed. And I was just crying. I was praying to God to help me get out of that situation. And he would go in the kitchen and he would get cups of water. And he would pour the cups of water on me. And my bed was soaked. My mattress, everything was soaked. And I laid there in a knot, balled up in a knot. And I finally fell asleep in water, a wet bed. And when I woke up the next morning, I was swollen. And I didn't want to go to my mama because I didn't want my mama to see me like that. And I didn't want my kids to see me like that. My kids already were seeing me being abused by this man. And when I woke up, he was there. And he was crying and he was apologizing, saying that he was sorry for what he done to me. Domo Quantum. I took him back. I stayed in that relationship. So to fast forward, we split. I lost my house because my landlord didn't want him there anymore. So my landlord evicted me because he was living with me, and she hadn't told me that if she catch him there, I had to move. And that's what she done. She caught him there. So I had to move back in with my mama. And I stayed with my mama almost a year until I saved up the money to get this place where I'm at now. So I moved here. Me and her moved together here in 2018. And abuse still was going on in 2018. I mean, it just seemed like it just got worse. It just got worse. So 2019 came in. And I could see everything like hitting the fan, everything changing with me and him. And this one particular day, my oldest son had stopped living with me because he got tired of him beating on me. He got tired of seeing his mama get beat. And my oldest son wasn't brave enough to stand up to this guy and say, don't hit my mama anymore. And then my baby boy, he started having like bad headaches, dizziness and stuff, and he was wondering why. And I took him to the doctor. Come to find out, my baby was suffering from high blood pressure. And he was only 7 years old, 6 going on 7 years old at the moment. So they brought a counselor in. And he said to the counselor, the reason why I'm aggravated and I'm stressed and I'm worried is because of my mama. My mama is being abused by my daddy. I'm tired of my mama being abused by my daddy. I'm tired of my daddy. I'm tired of my daddy beating on my mama. That's what he told the counselor. And the counselor told his doctor. So when I took him back for his 2 weeks checkup, the doctor and the counselor told me what my baby stated. And it hurt me so bad. And I had to admit that I was being abused by his father. So I come to realization that I had to let my baby stay with my mom for 2 more weeks until he get better. And I had to sit down with my ex-boyfriend at the time. I had to sit down and tell him, listen, we got to stop fussing and fighting for our child's sakes, because that's why he's stressing and having blood pressure problems because of us. And it stopped for a moment. He stopped abusing me, but we still would fuss, but we wouldn't fight because of my son. And this one particular day, my oldest son, he stayed the night with me. I begged him to stay the night with me. And he stayed the night with me. And that morning he got up and him and my ex-boyfriend got in an altercation. And he called me at work and he was crying. So I had left work and I came home and I asked him what did he do to my son to have my son upset because my son was on the porch crying. And me and him started arguing and he told me, he said, you better get out my face. If you don't get out my face, I'm going to beat your ass. And by the time my oldest son walked around the corner, he said, if you put your hands on my mama, I'm going to effing kill you. And I was stunned to hear my oldest son say that. That woke me up at that moment. And this happened like around July of 2019. The beginning of September of 2019, I found out that he was cheating on me. It wasn't with one woman. It was like 4 different women. And all of them was Caucasian women. That's when things started going on here. Now, I confronted the women about it. And one of them was my classmate. And she stated to me, she said, Saquana, she said, I told him don't call my phone no more. Because you're my classmate. You's a good person. He don't need to be cheating on you. You good to him. And I told her, I said, thank you. Thank you for telling me and letting me know. But these other women, they didn't care. They didn't care because he had done showered them. He had done slandered my name with them. So the other women thought I was a bad person. But I still stuck with this man. October of 2019. This is where it hit the fan. This is where I lost my mind. I didn't know what to do. I remember this particular night. It was a Thursday night. My baby had family night with his football team. They had a kickball game. He didn't show up. He lied to my baby. He didn't show up home. He lied to my baby. I went to his grandmother's house. One of his family members stated, oh, I dropped him off to that lady house. He came out and told me the truth. He was like, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what's wrong with him. That's what the family member stated to me. That morning, that lady dropped him off. And I didn't see her drop him off, but somebody else seen him. And I pull up and I flip. I blanked out. I remember, but I blanked out. I flipped because I thought about I was so good to this man. I went through so much abuse. I got this man out of jail. I did all kind of things to save my relationship. I turned against my family. So my family turned against me. I chased him with a bat. This was realization. I chased him with a bat. He called the police on me. Then I was charged with criminal domestic violence. I didn't touch him. No, nothing. This man stated to me, I signed a warrant on you because I want to prove my point. He wanted to prove his point to his boss man and to the lady that he cheated on me with and that he's with now. He wanted to prove a point to her that I was a bad person. And all in all, I wasn't a bad person. I was a bad person that day because you cheated on me, you hurted me, you took me through so much stuff, you abused me through our whole relationship. My family knew this. My friends knew this. Your family knew this. Your friends knew this. Because you done it in front of them. But this lady and your boss man didn't know because you portrayed me as a bad person. But it's okay. Because this here was a life lesson learned from me. I learned so much in those 8 years until now. I was at my lowest point in my life. I wanted to kill myself. I wanted to kill my children because I didn't want to leave them here on this earth to be treated wrong by people. December of 2019, I promised myself I wasn't going to cry. But December of 2019, I still try to get back with this man. But he texted me. This is what opened my eyes. Is when he texted me. And he stated to me, I told you I was gonna F your life up. He done that. He done that. And I want y'all to know, I don't want y'all to feel sorry for me at all, because I can't feel sorry for myself, because I put myself through that situation. I stood in that relationship because I thought this man loved me. And I tried to save it for my son because he loved his father. He loved his father. When the new year came in, I realized that it wasn't no more me and him. And I had to move on. And this is 2020. I had to move on with my life. And that's what I done. I move on with my life. I say that I would never date nobody again because the abuse that I went through. And my name got slandered because I got tired of being abused by this man and cheated on by this man. But I was slandered when I got fed up and I chased him with a bat. And the tables turned, I got charged with CDV. And right now, it's still processing. But it's okay because I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. And I thank God that I survived this situation. And I want to share my story to y'all young women and y'all young men, and let y'all know that if a man or a woman hit you, call you out your name, man, leave them. Get out that relationship because it's not called for. I'm telling you, it's not called for. When I wanted to kill myself and kill my kids, I had to get on my knees and pray to God. Lord, give me strength and courage. I got a lot to live for. I can't give up. I got a future. I can't give up. And I didn't give up. I didn't give up. And as of today, I thought I would never get in a relationship again. I never thought I would date a man again. But as of today, I met this young man. And he had just got out of a relationship. And we was going through the same thing. And we help each other. We help each other heal. Heal. We help each other heal from the abuse that we went through. And it's like he's my best friend. He's my soulmate. I love this man. I can really say I love this man. Some people might say, Quanta, that was fast. It wasn't fast. It was just in time. It was just what I needed. And I think that y'all just need to hear my story. I mean, I just want to encourage somebody. I just want to encourage y'all that it's better things out here. Get out that relationship. Don't stay in no abusive relationship for your kids. Oh, I'm staying here for my kids. No, don't do that. Leave, because your kids don't need to see you getting abused by your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Your kids don't need to see that. Nobody need to see that. And I just want to thank my mom. Man, my mom was there for me. She was really there for me. And my sister, she was there for me. And I just want to thank them. And I want to thank the ones that gave up on me and turned their back on me until I learned my lesson. And they came back in my life and they explained to me why they turned their back on me. And as of today, they tell me, Quana, we proud of you. You have made so much progress. So much progress. And I just want to thank y'all. I just want to thank everybody. And I'm about to leave y'all. I'm about to end this video. But it's one thing I want to say. I had one of my female cousins tell me, Quana, get rid of that toxic that's in your life. And you'll see your blessings come. As of today, I'm about to tell y'all, I've been blessed. I've been blessed. This story gonna continue because I'm gonna show y'all my blessing since I got rid of that toxic. I'm gonna show y'all my blessing. When I tell y'all I've been blessed, I haven't been sharing it. It's been secret. The only person know is my mother, my 2 boys, my sister, my brothers, and my soulmate. Them the ones that know about this blessing. And I'm going to share it to y'all. I'm going to share it to y'all. And I know that this video is going to get shared. And I want him to see this video of me. And I want you to know, I want to thank you. Thank you for putting me through what you put me through. Because I broke my silence. Them tears was tears of joy, not tears of sadness. Because I praise my God every day, every night. When I'm at work, I stand at my station and I praise my God. And I thank him for pulling me through that situation. So that woman that you with now, I thank her for taking you out of my life. I thank her. I appreciate her for taking you out of my life. I praise God. Because guess what? What I've been through, she's going through it. And I hope and I pray that she wakes up and she break her silence. I don't hate you. I have all the love in the world for you. And I want you to know that. And you know who you are. And I'm not going to call no names. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope I inspire some of y'all. I hope some of y'all will come out and tell y'all story. Yes, I was abused. Yes, I got a CDV charge against me. But it's okay. Because y'all know Saquana was a good girl. Saquana never was a bad girl. I didn't mess with nobody. Nobody. I didn't mess with nobody. I couldn't name a person that didn't like me. Because I was loved by so many people. I was loved by so many people. And I'm still loved by y'all. And I love all y'all. So ladies and gentlemen, get out the relationship that you in. Especially if it's abusive. Man, I don't care. You say, I don't want to lose my house. I don't want to lose my car. You can start over. Start over. Start over. Because I didn't lose none of that. Because I was the breadwinner. I was the one making money. I was the one making money in my relationship. I was the one making the money. I was the breadwinner. And guess what? I'm still a breadwinner. Because guess what? I kept the faith. This is why I got this necklace. Because it got faith. I kept the faith. Keep the faith. Be strong. Love yourself. Never let yourself down. Never beat yourself up. Get out. And say that you're a survivor. Because I am a survivor. And I love y'all. And y'all have a good night.